Welcome to the Meredith Taylor Show. Meredith is a former Division I SEC college golfer and is now the owner of McKellar Enterprises. Join the conversations with Meredith and other notable guests covering sports, leadership, personal growth, and so much more.
If you're looking for an experienced allergist in South Carolina, look no further. Find lasting relief and breathe easier with expert treatment from Dr. Lisa Hutto, a board-certified allergist, an experienced physician, and a dedicated advocate for patient health. My family members have benefited greatly from her care. Don't hesitate to go to lisahuttomd.com and schedule your appointment today. I highly recommend her, and I encourage everyone to go ahead and book your appointment today at lisahuttomd.com. I want to tell you about my friends at Rolling Suds Power Washing. From siding and roofs to driveways and walkways, Rolling Suds has been revitalizing residential and commercial properties for over 30 years. The largest power washing company in the world is ready to serve you. So if you're in Columbia, South Carolina, or in my hometown of Lexington, South Carolina, call my good friend Kyle Edens at 803-886-9828 or visit rollingsudspowerwashing.com.
Do you want lower golf scores? There are several ways you can work with former Gamecock Meredith Taylor. If you're in the state of South Carolina, one-on-one coaching is available. Across the U.S., virtual lessons are available. You just send your golf swing in for personalized coaching. This is the most popular option. And if you're a beginner and you need to learn the fundamentals, McKellar Online Academy, the online courses to learn the basics at your own pace. Go to McKellarEnterprises.org. McKellar, McKellar Enterprises.org to book your session today and lower those golf scores.
I've made this statement throughout my entire career that golf has been really good to me as a player and now as a coach. It's a joy to be able to give back to that next generation all the knowledge I've acquired over the many years. I believe to whom much is given, much is required. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it and help the next person have a smoother path and help them navigate through their journey. In today's episode, I'm titling this Mentorship Matters. Being a coach is one of the most rewarding professions you can have to positively impact young people and giving them the tools they need to succeed. Billy Graham once said, a coach will impact more people in 1 year than the average person will in an entire lifetime. So with that being said, I want to bring on the show today one of my mentees. He's had an incredible year of exponential growth in a really short amount of time. It's pretty rare to see in this game. So I want to highlight not only his talent, but his work ethic and more importantly, character and integrity. So Brady Senn, welcome to the show.
What's up? Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, buddy. So, okay, give us your sports background real quick. Kind of talk us through growing up, playing baseball, etc.
Yeah, so I watched my uncle play baseball at Carolina, and it was always kind of just what I did. I watched him do it. That's what I wanted to do. I picked up a baseball bat whenever I could walk. Played for forever, travel ball, you name it. Played 2 years at Gilbert. Enjoyed my time there. Had a good run. Just kind of fell out of love with it at the end, but it helped me so many ways. Just obviously hand-eye coordination and just getting me to where I want to be now.
Right. So what changed your mind on baseball, and then what went into the decision to leave baseball for golf?
Okay, so just falling out of love with baseball a little bit. The repetition, the practices are kind of hard whenever you're starting to fall out of love with it. And then there were some decisions made that I didn't necessarily think were right or fair to me in my mind. And then my granddad was talking to me one day. We were driving by Rush's in Lexington. I vividly remember it.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, why just think about playing golf some and see what it'll do for you. Obviously had a natural talent I mean, I was like a 10 handicap, just kind of messing around once a week with it. Just think about playing that full time because you're not happy with baseball right now. You're not happy with the decisions that are being made. I think you would benefit from it being kind of single person, like focus on you. And I feel like you'd be able to really thrive. And that kind of stuck with me.
So what was that transition like? Kind of going from a team sport where you have, I mean, you were a pitcher, right?
Yeah, I pitched and played first.
And played first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So going from that team atmosphere to you're on a team, but it's an individual sport.
It was tough. It still kicks my tail to this day. Just
Yeah.
the inner battle.
Yes.
Like you don't really have a teammate to rely on whenever you walk back in the dugout. Be like, hey, you got this. No, it's
That's right.
you versus like you talking to yourself.
Right.
And that
Right.
mental aspect I've really had to work on. It's tough. It's still getting me. Just the little aspects like that. Not having people to rely on. It's got to be you by yourself.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah, it really.
I mean, you don't have teammates. Well, you have teammates, but you're out there playing golf by yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't have teammates. You don't have a timeout. You don't have, a break in the innings, if you will. And
you don't go sit in the dugout and chill for half an inning before you go.
Yeah,
hit.
I mean, your mistakes are your own. It's not anybody else's fault but us. And so you have to kind of own your mistakes and keep going. But how important was that conversation with your parents?
With my parents, it was crazy important. Just how supportive they were. I mean, I could tell what they wanted me to do, but that was just me reading them, not them telling me what to do. Just from a standpoint of my dad plays golf 4 times a week. Like he loves it, and I could always tell that he wanted me to go there, but he was never going to push me in a certain direction. They were very good to me and trying to like help me with my decision and let me explore every option, which I did. I mean, that process took 3 months of me deciding what I wanted to do. So it was super important just having that supporting cast behind me. And then whenever I made my decision, they were the most supportive. They still are, that I could ask for.
And the other thing too is you can play with your dad. It's not like, I came from basketball to golf, and you can't just go play hoops with your family, but golf you can. And you can do it despite if they're phenomenal or if they're 10 handicap or whatever, you can still go out and have a good time with family, which I love about this sport.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, being able to probably go play golf 2 or 3 times a week with my dad right now. I mean, it's great.
Okay, so when did you decide, okay, I want to take this thing seriously? I'm going to start taking some lessons. And when did that kind of come to fruition?
Okay, so I've always played in like tournaments here and there, just whenever baseball wasn't around. I played in PGA Junior League, which if anybody is listening and they have a younger kid, get them into PGA Junior League. It was the best thing for me. I had fun. It wasn't too much on me. I loved it. But I don't know. I think whenever I had a conversation with Coach Hardy about me switching to golf, just where my passion had led me. That day, I was like, okay, if I'm doing this and betting on myself, I have to get good at it. Like, I think I can go get a scholarship. I'm going to try to get as good as possible. And my parents kind of backed me up. I tried a couple different people with lessons, and it didn't really work. I mean, it was okay. And then Mama told me to go to you, and it's been amazing ever since.
That's awesome. Okay, so what were you shooting before lessons to kind of give people context, and then like what your most recent rounds are?
Range was probably 85 to 90. I mean, just I was a 10 handicap, but I very rarely shot 82. So, and now most recent rounds, I mean, I was 10 handicap. Now I'm a plus 1.6. So big jump there, obviously. My most recent rounds have gone 70, 71, 71 is my last 3. And then the round before
And
that.
what was your lowest round this year?
My lowest round this year is 65.
65.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just to put this into context for people, when did you start getting lessons, and like how long of a time period are we talking? You went from 10 handicap shooting in the high 80s to now having some rounds in the 60s and basically shooting a couple under par every day.
Yeah, it was a year and 2 or 3 months, like not long at all. The difference was crazy.
Okay, what's the biggest impact that you think has happened over this past year, this just exponential growth in your game?
The belief in myself the willingness to practice whenever I didn't really feel like it, whenever it was hard, whenever I wasn't playing good. Just that was the biggest thing, was just I want to be better. I want to be better no matter what happened.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, to me, the thing that stuck out to me first meeting you was the work ethic.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation very early because I always ask the kids that I work with, okay, tell me like what your goals are and make them big. Like, tell me what your highest goal is, because I want to know, is this somebody who just wants to kind of dabble? Is it someone who may want to play on the high school team?
Yeah.
Or is this somebody who wants to like compete for championships? Like, I want to kind of gauge their commitment level. Right.
Yeah.
And, and it was funny because you said, well, I want to do what you did. And I said,
exactly
okay. Do you remember this conversation?
Yes, I do. That was my mindset. It's been my mindset since I started playing golf. I want to do what the best people in the world do. I want to do what Meredith did. It's just my mindset right now. And it's been amazing for me.
The other thing too is, in that same conversation, a lot of kids will say, yeah, I want to be the best. I want to play in the SEC like you did, Mayor. And I'm like, okay, but do you know what that really means?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand the commitment level, the work ethic, the discipline, the sacrifices of not going to hang out with friends? You got a tournament, and it was funny. I remember telling you, I was like, do you really want to know what my college schedule was? And you're like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I said, okay, I got up at 6 a.m. No, I'm sorry. I got up at 4:30 so that I could be the first one to 6 a.m. workouts. Then I would go to class from 8 to 12. Then I would get lunch on the way to practice. And then I would practice. And then I would go to study hall. And I did that every day for about 5 years.
Yeah. That's what.
And you're like, all right, what do I need to do? And so the fact that, most kids, when you tell them the commitment level that it takes to play at that level, they kind of shy away and they're like, oh, whoa, yeah. I do not want that. But it was really neat to have you go, oh yeah, I can do that. No problem. Just tell me what I need to do.
Yeah. I mean, it was, the 6 here in the 4:30 was tough. I'm not going to lie to you. Hearing that, I was like, okay, hold up.
Well, most of my teammates would just roll out of bed and 5 minutes prior, but it was important to me because I was a walk-on and I wanted to make every moment count. And I wanted to put my best foot forward and show I deserve to be there. And so for me, it was kind of like, I deserve to be here. I'm going to be the first one here, last one to leave. That kind of mentality of, I had a little chip on my shoulder and I wanted to prove that everybody that I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it. So that's why I got up so early.
Well, that's whenever you said that, I was like, okay, it's going to be tough, but I thought in my mind, I want to do it. So I'm going to do it.
And that's the thing. Like certain kids have that it factor. They want to do the work because they have a goal and like, okay, once I have a goal and I've written it down, okay, now what are the steps? Yeah. Tell me what the steps are. And then, okay, now I know what to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So that's what I loved about our conversations, where not only did you have the big goals, but you got the work ethic to back it up.
Yeah. That's what work ethic too is, having people behind you. Like, you can go a month and a half without anybody behind you, but after that, you can't keep going. I mean, it's tough. It's tough even with people behind you, but I just want to make sure people know you always got to have people like Meredith, like my parents, like my grandparents. Everybody is pushing me to keep going, and that's perfect.
Right. Yeah, you got to have the people that, like we're talking about today, mentorship matters.
Yeah,
you got to have the people that will push you on the days that you're not feeling like it, or the days that they have to be there to remind you, okay, this is what you signed up for. You said you want to be the best. This is what it takes. It's just those little things that people a little bit ahead of you in the timeline can kind of help you along the way and along that journey. Tell me, let's see, lowest rounds or most recent successes. Let's talk about a couple of things. Well, a couple of the lowest rounds. Let's start there.
Yeah. Okay. So I've had a bunch of rounds, 68, 69. Then, like I said, the 65 with a bogey. That bogey still haunts me. Second to last hole. That bogey haunts me. But
I know. But welcome to golf.
Yeah. Most recent successes, I've gone
Yeah,
36 holes without a bogey, which was fun for me.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was some good golf. That was probably a month ago now. Really, just the biggest successes is staying as committed as I have. Like,
Right.
in my mind, that's tough. The
Right.
mental every day, school, waking up, doing the same thing. It's like the same thing every single
It
day.
is. Yes.
It's tough sometimes, but
That's right.
just being able to stick with it has been truly a big success for me. It's fun.
Okay, let's talk through tell people kind of what we've been working on together these past 12 months. I'm sure people are like, can you give me a little hint of what y'all been working on? What y'all
Yeah.
been working on?
So obviously the swing. I mean, that's
Right.
what every swing coach does. But us personally, the
Yes.
difference is the mental side that we have been able to like work on. And really, because coming from baseball, the more mad I was, the more down on myself I was, the better I played. That's just how I worked. So I came to golf thinking the same thing, and I got
Yeah.
it. It didn't work at all.
It doesn't work. That's
So
right.
Meredith just taking me through everything on how to be the biggest cheerleader, how to think before you go hit a golf shot. Just all the little stuff like that was the biggest thing that we did together. Obviously, the swing has gotten a billion times better. Like simple things like setup and stuff like that, that whenever you think of a plus one handicap, you don't really think of that stuff. But I
Yes.
think I'm as good as I am because of how on top we stay with the little stuff.
Yes.
So I love how
Well,
we
and I
work
did
on
gi-
this
I did
stuff.
give you that example of even Scotty Scheffler still works with his
Yeah.
coach on his grip.
Yeah,
We're talking about the number one player on the planet
just
who's
one.
talking about fundamental things.
Yeah.
So the little things matter. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, he literally just won today. He just won today.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, just the little stuff and us staying on top of it and you giving me the blueprint to be where I want to be. That's been the biggest difference with you. You being my biggest cheerleader and taking me where I want to be. That's been what we've worked on, and it's been amazing.
Well, and like I told you, and I tell all my students this, if you're willing to put in the work, I'll give you the blueprint.
Yeah.
Because it's I could talk all day, but if you're not willing to put in the time and the effort and to put it into practice,
Yeah.
then it's kind of null and void. But what I've enjoyed watching you do the past year is not only are you very coachable, but you're also willing to put in the work. You have the self-discipline
Yeah.
to, like you're saying, even on a bad day, I'm still going to get in my work and I'm going to get 1% better because that's
Yeah.
in the plan.
Yeah. That's what it's just all sticking to the plan. And I'll give you a bunch of credit. I wouldn't stick to this plan unless you taught me how to and you've given me the steps. It's like whenever you look at it, it's like, okay, if I eat better right here, that's 1% better. And then if I go putt in this mat right here, it's right beside me for 15 minutes, I'm 1% better. You don't have to grind all day every day is what
You
I've
do not.
realized.
That's right.
You just have to find a way to get a little better every day. Work on your putting stroke for 15, 30 minutes. You don't have to stay on top of it all the time.
That's right.
Or grind for 5 hours every single day, which has really kept it fresh for me and realized that, yes, you do need those days, but you don't always have to do that.
That's right. And to describe to people the difference between how you play, how you score with that, down on yourself like you did with baseball versus now with a good attitude. What's been that shift with on the golf course, seeing the scores and your play just elevate?
Yeah. So since I made that switch, it's probably been a month and a half now. It went from like a 2 handicap to a plus 1.6, literally that fast. The amount of shots because you hear people say it and it's like, okay, yeah, of course, blah, 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 blah. And I get in the cart one day, Meredith, I knew something was up. Meredith got me in the cart and said, okay, we need to have a conversation. I was like, oh God. So Mama figured out later, told Meredith that I had threw a club on 16 and I playing awful, been playing bad for like a week straight, just got into my nerves. And she sat me in the cart. We had a conversation for like 20 minutes on, look, if you want to get there, you can't do this bullcrap. And that hearing that from you, which you hear it from your parents. My parents tell me all the time, but it just didn't click.
Right.
And then you said it and got on to me, which I enjoyed getting yelled at a little bit. You telling me that, I was like, okay, I got to make this change.
Right.
And you have more fun. That's the real thing.
Yes.
You just have so much more fun if you just think, okay, who cares? I'm going to go make par. Instead of, oh my gosh, that was so bad.
It's not life or death, buddy. It's a game. Yeah. That's right.
And then all of a sudden, you're getting up and down. Even if you chunked it 30 yards, you're getting up and down. You make par. It's the same score.
That's right.
Like, I literally dropped 3 shots by just thinking, oh, I'll get it next time. Get the next shot. Do this, do that. Not sticking in the past. So
that's right.
It is the simplest way to get better.
100% agree.
Yeah.
And it's, I love that you brought that conversation up because I've never gotten on to you about anything.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that, if I'm a D1 head coach today and I'm looking at recruits, body language is a big one for me. Because what does that tell me about this kid? That everything is, even keel, despite, the one thing that you could watch someone play, and if you can't tell if they're playing well or if they're playing bad, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the outward expressions and slapping the leg or hitting I don't, the head goes up in the air or all of those things that all of us have to kind of figure out. And I'm just glad that we were able to just exponentially fix it really quickly because I can see it and I know exactly what to say. Let's nip in the bud. And this is why, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was literally the next day.
That's right.
I didn't hit the ball good at all and still shot 72. I was like,
that's right. That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I guess coach is right.
Yeah. And then yesterday, I forgot to say this. I shot 72 yesterday and I hit 7 lips. I lipped out 7 times. So I'm 2 over going into 16.
Okay.
And I was 3 months ago, I would have been so mad I couldn't stand it because how many lips I had. I was looking down on it. Oh, the golf course was treating me bad, blah, 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 blah. But no, I get to 16. I'm like, okay, I'm making birdie. I go into a bunker like 40 yards out on the right, put it 8 feet, make the putt for birdie. All of a sudden, I'm 1 over. Then 17, pull it 30 yards right instead of being, oh, that's awful, terrible. I make par, get up and down.
Could still get up and down. That's right.
Exactly. So I go to 18 with a mindset of, oh, I'm going to shoot 72 instead of, oh, man, that was so bad, blah, 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 blah. And I birdie 18, shoot 72. Like that mindset right there, 3 months ago, I probably would have been 4 over, 5 over by the time that round ended because of how mad I was that I wasn't getting my way.
That's right. And one bad shot and letting it linger and just putting yourself down and the way that you talk to yourself, all of that compounds and then your okay round would have turned into something even worse.
Yeah. I mean, I shot 72 and it in a blink of an eye, and if I didn't stay with it, it would have been 77.
That's right.
That fast.
Just by having that switch. That's phenomenal. Yeah. Okay, where do you see golf taking you? Tell me kind of the vision you've got for the future in the sport. I mean, you're so new to the sport.
Yeah.
But tell me kind of what your goals are.
Vision is I want to be the best player at Gilbert this year. Like right now, that's in a couple months. That's where I want to be. I want to be the best player. I want to compete against the best in 4A. I want to go place top 10 in state. Just keep grinding. Next year, I want to start getting looks from schools. Just grinding, stacking days. I know it'll come if I just keep stacking days. And then, obviously, college. My parents have done a bunch for me, more than I could ever ask for. So I really want to return the favor for them and get college paid for, most of it, by a scholarship.
That's awesome.
Really where I want to be. And then wherever golf takes me after that, I don't know yet. If it's Q School, if it's PGA Tour U, whatever it is.
Right.
And then if not, okay. But that's really just what I'm focused on right now. It's just trying to get a scholarship and be able to play collegiate golf. I'm very excited about that. That's the main.
I am too. I'm pumped for you. And like I said, if I'm a D1 head coach today, I want 10 Brady Senns on my team because of the qualities. Obviously you got to have the talent, you got to have scores. Everybody does. But the kids that have good character, good integrity, great body language, good attitude, they compete hard, they're coachable, and they've got the work ethic and the leadership abilities. That's the intangibles that are necessary to be successful at the next level. So I'm pumped for you.
And that's what I did not come with a lot of those skills either. I just want to shout out Meredith again real quick. Meredith taught me everything about that. Like all these skills that D1 athlete or D1 coaches look for, I was taught that. It's not something that's given. You got to focus on it and work on it.
I appreciate it. Okay, so is it worth it to get golf lessons?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be me. This is not a plug for me, but in general, for the young kids that are listening, do you think it's worth it?
Yes. For somebody that wants to be good, 1000%. If you're going to go practice, it doesn't have to be all the time. It can be 3 days a week. Then yes. If you're going to play once a week, then, I mean, it would help, but it's a little bit different then. But if you're trying to practice and drop a couple shots, that's one of the best ways to do it.
I'll tell you the other thing too that I've loved is we obviously started with fundamentals, and we talked about the reps that would lead to your confidence. But also, once you get the fundamentals, and this is kind of for everybody, but once you've gotten the fundamentals from a swing coach, go play. Yeah. Go learn how to play golf. You can't be on the range and be a range rat and be successful on the golf course. Well, why? Well, you have a flat lie on the range and you got a great lie every time. And that's not reality. That's not playing golf. You're going to have your feet in the pine straw. You're going to have be in the bunker. The ball's outside the bunker. How do you hit it? You got to kind of figure it out, right? The more that you can play and learn how to play golf with downhill lie, uphill lie, side hill lie, all the things, you just get comfortable the more you play. And so that was one of our big emphasis points too with you is, okay, now that we've got a fundamental swing, let's go on the golf course. Let's go play.
Only go to the range if you need it.
That's right.
If you need it, then go. If you don't just whack balls because your swing's perfect for forever. That's just, the golf course benefits you 10 times more than whacking balls on a range does.
You can kind of talk to this too, but a lot of different coaches have different coaching styles. And so I always want to tell people, if you don't come to me, that's awesome. I want you to find what works for you. But, for my coaching style, why did it kind of fit you and your learning style?
Okay. So one, you just like that first conversation that we ever had was vital for me. Just being like, okay, if you want it, I will give you everything that you need to get there. That was vital. Your coaching style also, now that we've gotten more and more into it with the mental side, like you being a cheerleader basically, like for me and helping me all the way and being positive and doing all this when I'm not good at that. I sometimes look at the negative. That for me was perfect. I mean, having somebody behind you that's like, okay, hey, look, we're going to get this. Next week, you're going to go shoot whatever you want to. You're going to have your way with this golf course. Right now, we got to do this, this, and this to get your swing there. Like that mindset to where, okay, yep, you're going to go shoot 65. Like changed everything. Just, I don't know. That mental side and you being a great cheerleader and then helping me to like connect stuff with God and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Was really cool for me too. Just you helped me with like.
Well, like we've talked about too, it's, God's given you a gift, and it's kind of, this is how I thought when I was your age, is God's given me a gift to play the sport. Yeah. My way and to honor him is to give that gift back to him. Meaning my gift back to him is to put everything that I have into this to get as good as possible, just to honor the gift. Right.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. You helping me. I mean, it was more than just a coach, which was really cool. Like it was my cheerleader. It was, if I had any like spiritual things, like questions and stuff like that with my walk with Jesus, you would help me out with stuff like that. You would help me connect it back with golf, like stuff like that has been amazing. That's more awesome. Than just a swing coach.
And this sport is very difficult to learn and to master. So, with football, you've got the same dimensions. With tennis, you have the same dimensions. With basketball, you have the same dimensions. With golf, there's a billion different combinations. You have to learn different grasses. You've got a different course every tournament. It could be, the weather could be cold, hot, wind. Got to learn how to play in the rain. The greens are different. The grass is different. The lies are different. The length of the courses is different. So it's a tough sport to come into when you've come from, say, a baseball where the field's the same, and basketball for me, same court. Doesn't matter if you're in California or South Carolina. But golf courses, it's a learning curve for everybody. So, you can't get down on yourself in that learning phase. Just having somebody like, no, you're good. You're good. Just don't beat yourself up. This is part of the process, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So talk to me about goals. So we're getting close to the end of the year. What are your 2025 kind of goals moving forward in terms of, you've got your Gilbert High School, shout out Gilbert, schedule. And then we really wanted to kind of load the tournament schedule for you after high school. So we want to get like a summer full of competing and learning how to play tournament golf.
Yeah, that's what signing up for the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Junior, and then trying to make the U.S. Open, because why not? We're going to try to sign up for those. That's an experience unlike any other. If you get in, if you don't, you're playing against some of the best juniors and amateurs in the world. So
yeah, just getting comfortable in tournament golf, really. And like we talked about, you could, go ahead.
Yeah. So high school golf, yes, very good, but it's different than going and playing other people all across the Southeast,
Right.
You play the same couple teams.
That's right.
Blah, 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 blah. It's just different that I haven't really experienced enough yet.
And that's the main thing, is it's the experience. Yeah. To be honest with you, it doesn't really matter what you shoot at these tournaments. It's the experience of getting comfortable playing against the best in the country.
Yes.
And just getting way more comfortable competing with people outside of your state. I played the SCJGA, and that's all I knew, right? Yeah. That was because coming from a different sport, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about golf, but you just start to learn what tournaments to play in. And then you get more comfortable and you're like, oh, okay, got it. Now this is the next phase. So it's going to be fun to watch you add to that tournament resume, if you will, and then really get comfortable with that tournament golf, kind of getting you prepared for college golf and that next level.
Yeah, that's what tournament golf's different.
It is.
You can go shoot. I tell this story all the time because it's awful, but it shows how different tournament golf is. I shot 65, that what we were talking about, at my home course with my dad. Turn around, next couple of days, played in a tournament, went 81-81. That's just golf.
That's right. It happens.
That is one of the hardest things ever to comprehend in my mind, because it was I went from not missing, making how many ever birdies and a bogey, to I can't do anything right. I don't know what I'm doing. It's insane.
It's called your first year of golf. Everybody that's listening has been through that phase. Well, actually, a lot of people can't shoot 65. Let me be honest. But in terms of you have a day where everything's clicking, and then you have a day where you're like, I don't know which end of the club to hold. I look like, everything feels wrong. What's going on? That's just part of it. It's it's a new sport. And like we're talking about, there's a billion different combinations that can happen in a round of golf that are going to affect your play. So again, that's the whole thing with playing more tournaments, is to just get more comfortable playing more tournaments.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I finally started to get comfortable. I won my junior club championship. I won a couple tournaments.
Yes, sir.
Tournaments during the summer. Just getting used to it. I'm starting to win stuff, and it's fun.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you. Tell me your favorite course in South Carolina right now.
Okay, so favorite course I've ever played?
Yes.
Sessions. Got to play there in a tournament. Kicked my butt there at the end, but it was really cool getting to see that. Honorable mention is Selena. Watching it coming along. The golf course is really cool, but also knowing and having conversations with Wesley and George, and having conversations with the Bryan Bros is really cool to watch that golf course and get to play that golf course. Favorite golf course that I have been to, I haven't played yet, but I get to caddy there, is Old Barnwell. That's
that's for sure.
It's what Izzy said it was her favorite. and getting to be out there a lot is really cool.
That's neat. Okay, favorite verse this year, or what God's been teaching you right now?
Okay, so 1 Corinthians 16:13, it says, be watchful, stand firm, act like men, be strong. Just, it's tough because it's crazy how it connects with you, you know?
Right.
It's on I have a little bracelet with it. And like what we've been working on with mental stuff, it's like being watchful and knowing like how dumb I was being by throwing clubs and stuff like that. And then like standing firm and obviously Christ, but also
Yes,
being smart on the golf course, and then acting like a man. Don't do dumb stuff. Just roll with the punches, being strong in your relationship with Christ, and kind of being strong on the golf course whenever stuff doesn't go your way. I mean, it's crazy how you look at that whole verse and it connects with you. If you just look at it a little bit, it connects with you every way. It's wild how God throws little hints at you with stuff like that.
yeah, and it's fun too because different verses will come back later. As you get older, you're like, I've heard this verse 1,000 times, but it hits different right now. Like, you're continually learning and continually finding verses that are specific to what you're going through at that moment.
Yeah,
I'm super proud of you. It's been an awesome year of watching you progress and have massive success in a short amount of time. Super proud of the way you carry yourself, how coachable you are, and the integrity and character that you have. It's going to bode really well, not only moving forward, but just as a human being. I'm super proud of you. Just wanted to say that. And then, yeah, I'm super proud. To everybody listening who's got the ability to mentor someone who's in that generation behind you, I think we're the most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were, right? So what challenges have you conquered? What obstacles have you overcome, and setbacks that you made a big comeback? All of those things kind of prepared you to be the person you are today so that you could reach back and help somebody else. So use that uniqueness in the service of others. Thank you guys for listening. God bless, and go Gamecocks.
Go Cox.
There are several ways to support the show. If you leave a review, you'll be entered for a chance to win a free golf lesson with Meredith. Follow Meredith's social media for giveaway details. And to give a donation, you can click the support link in the show notes. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time here on the Meredith Taylor Show.